Hey guys, okay, so well, I've been getting a lot of, comments and messages from people about their transitions. A lot of people are actually coming out to me, which is awesome. I feel really special about that, and everyone apologizes. Oh, sorry for long letters. It's fine, don't worry about it. I'm unemployed and I'm just playing the waiting game pretty much, so. But yeah, a lot of people have been asking me to do a video on how I came out to like my family and friends and their reactions. So I'm gonna do that right now. But I mean, part of it's nice, and I'll give some advice. But um, my family is another story. So this isn't everyone's family. So don't get discouraged. Okay, so the very first person I came out to was my fiance. I was actually pretty good at being a guy. I had a really beautiful girlfriend, fiance, and I was drunk one night, and as we were passing, she was asleep, I thought, but I was like just passing out, and I just said it, like it was like I don't know. It's something that had to be said. I had to say it. What is that? Um, but yeah, I just said it as I was like falling asleep, and it woke her up, and we talked, and I just kind of came to terms with it, and so she actually became a really strong support, like just a pillar of strength for me. She encouraged me to tell my family next, so I wrote them. I live separate from my family, thank God. Uh, so I wrote them like a 3-page email because I couldn't even figure out how to start the conversation with them, which was the reason they hadn't known yet. Like, I went my whole childhood knowing and never said anything. So I wrote them, and my mom called me back as soon as she read it and was like, I've known for a long time. Which is like the worst thing she could have said, right? Like, it, I expected them to be mad or hurt, and she was like, "Oh, I've known. I just never said anything or made you feel like it was okay to feel this way." So that was tough. But at this point in my life, I was really, really depressed. Or not at this point. There was like 6 months where my girlfriend was still trying to figure out her gender in relation to mine and what our relationship would be. Um, so everything was like good for a while. But about 6 months down the road, we broke up. My gender confusion like kind of ruined my whole household that I was living with. My roommates didn't like me, but they didn't know. And the funny thing was, one time, me and my best friend Matt, we were arguing and we were like breaking up. He was done with me, and so I just went out crying to him, and it was like raining. It was like such a cliche. And I told him, I said, I'm transgender, and the first thing he said to me was, "I forgive you." He apologized to me. Um, he goes, everything makes sense. Like, you can't expect to be like sane when you're having an identity crisis. And he made me promise him to try out for the WPS. This is his condition. So, I mean, that was awesome, but it still kind of broke up our house. And so for a while, it took me like a year to really find myself again, and I had to do like 6 months of psychiatric counseling because the first 3 months I found out the doctor just thought I was just depressed, and he was just counseling me for that, and I needed my letter for hormones, so that was kind of a pain in the ass. But so that's how I told my parents and how I told my roommates. For the rest of everyone else, I chose I'm a communications major, and I know there's a time and a setting for every like argument or conversation. Not especially something like this. If a, a person is smart, educated, good-willed, good-natured. People can be like irrational, like um, panicky, the group think, So I chose to tell everyone that I knew in person, one-on-one. And I actually did that a lot. I did that a lot on the ski lift this year. I went snowboarding like 40 times this year, and I told a lot of people. Just I would just find a time in the day where it was just me and them on the lift, which is tough because a lot of times those goddamn lift ops are like 4 to a chair, and I'd have it all set up where me and my friend would be only people, and then two more. But as far as I live in Sacramento, and it is the most culturally and ethnically diverse city in America. It's very liberal, Democrat, especially like downtown, midtown. So most all my friends that I've known for like the past 7, 8 years, 5, 6, 7 years, um, and we've all grown up in this very accepting, liberal, to each their own society. So every single person that I told um, was very accepting. They were encouraging. They told me that they were there for me, and they didn't quite understand. But it was important that they told me that they still want to be friends, and this didn't change anything, but they didn't know it was coming. So